Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from DC and McFarlane Toys, we are featuring Two-Face from the Batman 66 line. Alright, so if you're a fan of Batman 66, you'll know that Two-Face was never in the live-action TV series, but this action figure is actually quite special because it's taken from the Batman 66 comic book. So some years ago, DC decided to continue the adventures of Batman 66 in comic book form. And one of the stories they did was Batman 66 number 1, The Lost Episode. So that comic book was inspired by, I think, a script but written by the legendary writer Harlan Ellison. And the comic book story was adapted by writer Len Wein. And this is Two-Face as he appeared in that comic book. The comic book came out in 2014. I believe it was DC digital first. If you've seen the cover, I think there's 2 alternate covers. The one cover which really stands out is the alternate cover painted by artist Alex Ross. And it really captures, what 66 Two-Face might have looked like. And, that kind of resulted in the action figure we're holding right now. So I have a couple of these figures in the 66 line. I have the Batman and the Robin. I think they're fantastic. They're great pieces. The one thing fans kind of complained about is the size of the action figures. I believe these are a 6-inch scale action figures, whereas McFarlane's more popular DC Multiverse line is a 7-inch scale figure. For example, here's the McFarlane designed Batman from Multiverse, and as you can see, it just completely towers over the Two-Face. And here's a Marvel Legends by Hasbro from the X-Men line, and the size is kind of quite comparable. So this is a little bit more in line with the 6-inch figures. But it's a great looking figure. The package design is very much in line with the other 66 figures that you see like at your local Target or Walmart. He comes with Harvey Dent's coin, which we see right there. The costume is really nice, and it kind of bears somewhat of a resemblance to like Tommy Lee Jones's character from the live action. Which one was it? Was it Batman? I think it was Batman Forever. I think that was the film. But it kind of when I first saw this, it kind of reminded me of that, the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. And then on the back, we have some artwork from the comic book, and then up close portrait of the action figure. And like I said, it kind of resembles Tommy Lee Jones in some ways. In other ways, it doesn't. And let's take this guy out. So first up, we have the Harvey Dent coin. This is the one that Two-Face always flips to see if someone's like innocent or guilty. Whether or not they deserve his mercy or his punishment. So on one side, you have Freedom, nice, profile of Lady Gotham. The coin's marked 1929. And then when you flip it over, it's all scratched and marred. So this kind of like invokes, Two-Face's darker half. And alright, so let's check out the Two-Face figure. So when I saw this figure, it really caught my eye. Like I said, from a distance, I thought it was the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face from the live-action Batman films from back in the day. But then as I got closer, I'm like, no, this is a completely new design. This is the one that's based off of the 66 comic book. And it's cool, it really embodies Two-Face, different sides of the coin. You have the human Harvey Dent side, and then on the opposite end, you have his evil side that's filled with malice and hate and vengeance. So it's such a cool figure. The color scheme is really, really eye-catching. It kind of has the black and white tux on one side, and then on the opposite side, it's almost like a very Joker kind of color scheme. Upon examining the face up close, you can see how his face is deformed on one half. It almost looks like an oxidized copper. You know, that's how I'd best describe this shade of like teal. And it's really, really striking. I like this a lot. The one thing that really drew me to this figure, though, was the size of it. Like, I'm a big fan of the Christopher Nolan Batman films, and also of Mattel's take on the Dark Knight character. So over here on our right, we have a Movie Masters Christian Bale Dark Knight figure produced by Mattel. And this is a 6-inch scale action figure. I do know that, you know, even though Mattel made the Aaron Eckhart Two-Face, which is a great figure, you know, I kind of think this one looks so outrageous that, you know, I kind of feel like he could exist in this universe. And it's nice that, you know, size-wise, you know, they kind of line up. So it's kind of cool that he could kind of line up with some of, like, you know, Mattel's offerings of Batman figures. But, you know, this is clearly intended for the 66 line, but aesthetically, it just looks so modern. It looks great. It's such a beautiful looking figure. In terms of the articulation, let's examine that. It's, you know, I think it's pretty fair. It's not as super articulated as like the Multiverse stuff, but it's decent. You know, his head rotates. Does he look down? Not really. Doesn't really look up. His arms rotate. Do they go out? Yeah, they do go outward. A single pinned elbow right there. Mine's a little stiff. Does he have articulated wrists? I don't think so. No, yeah, he does have articulated wrists. It's kind of a tight fit on mine, but the wrist does articulate. Swivels at the waist. You can kind of see it right there. Legs kick up. Do they kick out? No. And then a single pinned knee. So even though the articulation is very limited, I still think it's a fantastic figure and a great addition to Batman 66's Rogue Gallery. It's such a striking piece. You know, I love the color scheme a lot, and the scale is nice. You know, I love how this looks next to the Christian Bale Batman. You know, even though there is the Aaron Eckhart figure, you know, I in terms of Two-Face, I think this really embodies the character a lot better. So, it's a great figure. You know, this is one that kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. You know, when I was at my local Target and saw this, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. And this is one I definitely had to pick up. It's so cool. And it makes you think, you know, what Two-Face would have been like in Batman 66 in the live action series if that lost episode, you know, actually came to light. On a scale of 1 to 10, for me, this is a perfect 10. This was something that really surprised me. The presentation's beautiful. I love the fact that he comes with the, you know, the coin. And if you want to be Two-Face yourself, you know, you can walk around with this in your pocket and just judge everybody and flip it. So, excellent figure. Welcome piece to any Batman collection. All right, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.